Next on Worcester News tonight, an armed home invasion in Webster puts one man in the hospital, and police say they're still looking for the suspects. And the transformation of downtown Worcester continues. Good evening, thanks for joining us. I'm Tim McCone. We begin tonight in the city where the revitalization of downtown took another step forward Wednesday. Officials from Franklin Realty Advisors, Great Point Investors, and the City of Worcester were on hand at the atrium at 100 Front Street. That building, along with 120 Front Street, are part of the new Mercantile Center. Designers say the name is in honor of Worcester's industrial past and also a nod to the future success they envision in the city. The project will renovate the buildings and, along with space for tenants, will eventually include bars and restaurants. The renovations are set to begin next month.
The year is out, we'll have the facade on the building done. UMass will be in occupancy in 75,000 feet. And the common lobbies in this building at 120 will all be refurbished. The garage work will still be in process. That's about a year-and-a-half process. But all the other work will be done before the year is out.
In Webster, police are looking for several suspects involved in an armed home invasion. Police say they were called late Tuesday night to Harrington Hospital in Webster after a male victim walked in with gunshot wounds to the abdomen. Police then responded to 17 Mill Street for a report of several black males with firearms breaking into the apartment. Police say shots were fired during the invasion, which led to the victim to be brought to the hospital by his friends.
Just surrounding that whole break-in and what happened. We don't believe it wasn't a random thing. I can say with a fairly high degree of certainty that it was not a random act.
At this time, the victim's injuries do not appear to be life-threatening. Webster Police and Mass State Police are investigating, and if anyone has any information, you're asked to contact police. Also in Webster, police say 2 people have been charged in connection to a December stabbing. Police say the incident took place back on December 26th at the Swinging Chicken Saloon in the town. Police say a husband and wife got into an altercation outside the bar with another man. The victim suffered from 2 stab wounds. Judith and Joseph Heber were both charged. Judith was charged with assault and battery to intimidate. Joseph was charged with 2 counts of assault and battery with a dangerous weapon. Both were arraigned in Dudley District Court. Their cases have been continued to March 10th. In Millbury, a tractor-trailer driver faces charges after an object flew off his truck, injuring 3 people. This happened just before 7 this morning on the Mass Pike. A large object fell off a tractor-trailer being driven by Anthony Donaldson from Roslindale. That object hit a car with 3 people inside who were hospitalized with minor injuries. Donald did not stop. He's charged with leaving the scene of a personal injury crash and a left lane violation. Well, the New Hampshire primary helping shape the political spectrum as candidates Donald Trump and Bernie Sanders win big last night. Our Andy Madison has a recap and a look at what's next.
It was a big night for the leading candidates in each party.
We have sent the message.
All eyes were on New Hampshire last night. Before the results, State Representative Peter Durant was among those stumping for candidate John Kasich.
Get out people to vote, make sure that those supporters of Governor Kasich do come out, and give them a strong showing that we're looking for.
And they sure did. Kasich finished in 2nd place in the primary, which could give him a lot of momentum going forward.
He's a very popular governor of Ohio. He's turned that state around. He's balanced budgets. He's clearly, in my opinion, clearly the most qualified person to become president.
The question in the next week is going to be whether Governor Kasich is able to get the establishment support, and particularly financial support, to coalesce around him.
So now it's on to the South Carolina primary, which takes place next week. Political experts we spoke with say the big test will be Super Tuesday, where Massachusetts will be one of several states holding a primary or a caucus on the same day. GOP favorite Donald Trump spoke in Worcester last year, an appearance that could bode well for him in March.
It generated some excitement, and as I say, everything he's done in particular has defied the odds in conventional wisdom thus far.
Andy Madison, Worcester News Tonight.
One person who won't be campaigning any longer is Christie. The New Jersey governor is expected to drop out of the race after finishing 6th in New Hampshire, where he had largely pinned his hopes. Governor Baker had endorsed Christie last week. Also today, Carly Fiorina ended her presidential campaign. The former technology executive finished 7th in yesterday's New Hampshire primary, winning just 4% of the vote, despite campaigning there vigorously. Fiorina said not taking part in last Saturday's Republican debate hurt her. Today, we're hearing from the son of former state representative William Glottis Jr., who passed away yesterday. Glottis Jr. served 18 years as a state representative from the 16th Worcester District. His son, former state rep and Worcester County Sheriff Guy Glodis, says his father was very proud of Worcester and worked hard to fight for his district.
He was a very well-balanced man and served in the United States Navy and was very near and dear to veterans and very dear to different causes, both in Boston and in Worcester, but at the same time kept that very private, very humane, very compassionate side of himself as well.
Glodis was 83 years old. February is Black History Month. Worcester State University is hosting a variety of events, and Wednesday they had a nationally acclaimed writer and political activist speak to students. Our Patricia Nicholas was there and has more.
Worcester State University celebrates Black History Month with a lecture from writer and political activist Kevin Powell. Students who were in attendance say they were inspired.
From now on, I'm going to be more open to, learning more about our culture, because it's very important.
And do you speak Spanish and reading? Yes. Both.
Powell's interactive speech allowed students to speak on their own heritage and history. He also reaffirmed the importance of reading.
No matter who we are, where we come from, we should know who we are, being proud of our heritage, our background, our culture. But that's not going to happen if we don't read books.
Powell says he has traveled to all 50 states to speak. He says it's important to not only speak to the youth, but also hear them.
But actually pay attention to what they're saying, because you'll get a lot of truth in there. And not only does it help the young person to grow, I actually think it helps older people to grow, just to listen.
Quasi Casey is a student at North High. He says listening to Powell speak showed him what he could become in the future.
I feel like I live right now in what he used to go through, so I feel like putting in more effort and being more motivated, I could be something and have a good future, something like his.
Other students say hearing Powell speak was like no other speaker they have had before.
As he started, I felt a connection with him already, as spiritually and physically, as if I knew that what he's saying could benefit us in every way.
Teach me to read different things, to expand my knowledge, and also to learn more about my generation and everything. When I go home, I'm gonna ask my grandma a little bit about the family and the history.
Patricia Nicholas, Worcester News Tonight.
A big night at the Hanover Theatre Wednesday as they announced their 2016-17 Broadway season. The theater hosting their Broadway launch party where they unveiled 6 shows headed to Worcester. The party included prizes and even a mini performance from 2 cast members from Motown, which is one of the shows coming to the Hanover.
Theater gets more successful and more people come through the door, the shows look at that and say, oh, look at this audience in Worcester, we need to play Worcester. And that's what it is. It's not us out there shopping for shows, it's the shows out there shopping for theaters. So the more we can show that success, the more the shows want to come here. And they do. And that's why we've got some great shows this year. These are all first-run Broadway tours, top-notch productions. There's not a bad one in the mix. The quality is going to be superb next year.
Now, along with Motown, the Hanover Theatre will also have Cinderella, Kinky Boots, Once, Pippin, and the Riverdance 20th Anniversary Tour. They'll also be announcing a 7th show in April.